Let's take a look at this DIY redo of an ornament for Michael's. So a couple things that I bought on sale, some cookie cutters, some fabric, and ultra hold, which is basically a bonding material. So the first thing I did is I laid out the ornaments on the bonding material and I figured out what the length was that I need and then cut the excess off. I laid that on top of my fabric. You'll notice the fabric is right side down and laid the paper on top. When I go to iron, you're going to see that there's a flat surface, which is the area that I want to iron on. So I'm going to fuse this to the fabric beneath it. And then after I've done that, I peel it back and you can see the shiny area that indicates that it's adhered to the fabric below it. Once I've pulled that off, then I'm going to flip the piece downward. At this point, I take my hot iron and go over it a few times to make it nice and sturdy. Now, this is an extra step you might want to take, but I took some starch and I sprayed both the top and the bottom and put the iron on that as well. Now, obviously, none of us are going anywhere these days with COVID, and I don't use heavy starch at all really anymore, but it was sitting around the house. Figured it was a good thing. Then I took my cookie cutter and with a pencil outlined the shape of the cookie onto the fabric. So I cut the item out and you'll see that I left a little bit of an extension beyond the fabric when I put this on. And so that's maybe 1/8 of an inch that I cut to extend it. And then I took my epoxy glue and I put a bead all the way around the pencil marking and adhered it to the fabric to the cookie cutter. I decided to do this with the heavy edge of the cookie cutter facing down because there was just more real estate, more space for the glue to adhere to.
Then I added some embellishments around the perimeter of the ornament, i.e. cookie cutter. You can do whatever you'd like, but any Christmas color would work for the fabric, or you could even use cardstock. And now here's the finished product. What do you think?